Welcome back, you beautiful people, to the Real Collective Podcast. As always, I am Sean Tasse, joined by my illustrious co-host, Kyle Miller. Kyle, happy day to you, my friend, working from home.
Working from home today, yeah. Got a couple things to take care of and need to be more accessible to the child for pickup. So working
Ah,
from home today. It's
it's
also why I'm getting this massive glare off my forehead because the way the sun's hitting us right now.
hey
I can't
man,
fix it either.
sun's out, and it's all good. It's hot outside. It's nice outside. Spring is picking up. The market is hot. I'm so grateful for having a small little boutique team because I've got different people out doing different things, showing different properties, so I can be here with you. There are clients who are active and really going. House hunting trips are on. The military is moving people this year, which it seems like they haven't in the last couple of years. So it's been good. It's all good. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this with someone who you think might like this conversation. You can download us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or watch our funny looking faces here on YouTube. You can also download the buyer or seller guides below, or schedule an appointment with Kyle or I in the Calendly links below. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how mortgage penalties will increase as the rates decrease, and what that's going to mean to you if you're thinking about getting a mortgage right now. Kyle's going to take us to school on the math of the ups and the downs of that. And then in the second half, we're going to talk a little bit how to prep your house for summer. It's springtime now. If your house is getting ready, you definitely need to get a sense of what you need to do to get your house ready for summertime. So, Kyle, take it away. First of all, how are you feeling? What's going on?
Oh, good, good, very good. Yeah, it's been definitely seen some activity, lots more activity, which is nice, and very interesting to watch the dynamic of how things are playing out. Talking to different real estate agents, some are like, "This is crazy busy," right? Like you said, and other ones are like, there's nothing going on."
Oh,
And then you see on my social platforms, I've been doing a lot of videos for realtor partners and showing the numbers on some of their listings and helping promote that stuff. And it's wild to see which ones stay and which ones are gone right away. Because I don't want to say there's no rhyme or reason. It's just vastly different, you
yeah.
know, as to what's moving and what's not and why. And I don't think anybody knows always the why, but what's moving and what's not. Yeah, that guy. So it's that stuff. It's super interesting to see that, but and but it's good. It's good. Super
I'll,
excited to get into this more.
I'll hit you with the real quick answer as to why. The best houses that are priced well are selling, and the houses that are not priced well are sitting.
So,
It's so basic.
so there was an interesting one though. There was one I put out that I helped promote,
Yeah,
and it was listed. I think it was like 550,
yeah.
and I went back and checked on it like a week later just to see, and it had been relisted 50 grand higher. And I was like,
Yeah, okay. So that was they were holding offers, 550, no offers until such and such a date. They didn't get the offers that they needed to, or that they wanted, and they were reaching for a higher number. So again, uh when I say overpriced, I guess what I should say is over expectation of value. And whether they price it low and hope to get more for it, but then don't hit, or they price it too high and it doesn't sell, then that's it. But let's say in reality, those sellers might think, oh, well, I want 580 for my house. Well, price it for 550, you'll get 580 for it. But the reality is it might only be worth 540. And if you're priced at 550 and saying no offers until such and such a time, it's worth what it's worth. If and every house is worth a range, right? No house is ever actually worth a specific number. They're all worth a range until real estate agents get a hold of it. So you got a good listing agent, you'll probably sell for a little bit more. You got a good buyer agent, you'll probably sell for a little bit less, right? You have two good agents, you'll probably sell for about the same. If you've got two terrible agents, you'll probably sell for about the same, right? It really depends. Uh, a good agent will help you get more if you're selling. A bad agent will actually like cost you more money, even though you might pay a little bit less to them. A good agent, when you're buying, should help you buy your house for less money. And if you're selling, sell it, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm half. My train of thought is lost. And actually, that brings me into my next point of comment is I even slept like well last night. I got 6 hours of sleep last night, but I haven't been. Remember, we were talking about Magic Mind a little while ago before. I haven't been taking.
Yeah, good friend of the show, Magic
Yeah,
Mike.
good friend of the show, Magic Mind.
Good
I
friend of
haven't
the
been
show.
taking it. So they're about to ship us a new package. I think you got yours like yesterday. I haven't received mine.
Did
Yeah.
got mine yesterday.
We're excited to re-partner with Magic Mind specifically for ourselves, right? How it's going to change our lives. My mind, is definitely tired and flutters around and goes off on tangents, and I sort of half lose what I'm talking about. But I'm telling you, man, when I was taking Magic Mind, especially at the beginning of the year, not the case. I was on it. I was sharp. I was laser focused. I've probably had the best start to my year, to my real estate year, and I think I owe at least a small portion of it to being laser focused, and as a result of taking that Magic Mind. So with this new partnership with Magic Mind, again, we will be offering. It's like a little elixir. It's a quick one shot. You take it right before your coffee, and it really gives you that clarity, that focus, that sharpness of mind. And yeah, I'm really excited to get back into taking it. Really excited about the partnership again. Really excited to share the partnership with you. If you're watching, you get 20% off Magic Mind with the link. It's in the description below. Real Collective 20, and you can get Magic Mind set up for yourself and really pump up what it is you're doing in your world. I'm telling you, it's a big difference from what it was before when I was on it. Sounds like a drug. It's not on it. It's like a little whatever. Versus what it's been like for the last probably 2-3 months, and I'm really looking forward to starting it again. So
Yeah, me too. I got a lot of projects on the go. With work is busy, and
yeah,
another project outside of work that's busy, and then summer's coming.
yeah,
So I'm excited to get back on it, get into that routine, because it may be small, but it does make a difference. It
yeah.
did make a difference, and I'm happy that they're coming back and giving us another chance. And it's a chance, but partnering up with us again, and
Yeah.
be happy to promote that and watch it and use it for sure.
There's it's correlation. It's not necessarily causation. Who knows? But I've been more sick since I stopped taking it. I wasn't sick when I was taking it, and I feel like I've had like 3 or 4 colds since I stopped. So I don't think the two of them are connected. Maybe they are. I don't know. Anyways, Kyle, tell us about what we're talking about today.
So the big thing that I try to get across to people, education wise, is just understanding that the general term, the cheaper the rate is, doesn't mean it's better in the end. There's so much more to consider than just, hey, like, let's do a cheap rate. As a quick aside, I'm working with a client right now on a deal, and they're him and his partner, they're smart, they're intuitive into all this, and they I don't want to say they push back. I'm like, here's the rates we have, and here's what we're doing, and this is for this deal, this term, rah rah rah. They're like, well, yeah, but my brother's buying a house down in the GTA, and he's getting quoted like way less than what you're quoting me. So like, what's the deal? I said, yeah, but you guys have 20% down. He's not doing 20% down, so the rates are different. And it's a 3-year you're doing versus a 5-year, which he's doing, and he's like, and he asked, he's like, why don't we just pay the default insurance? Like, let's put down less, get the lower rate. We'll then lump sum down on the mortgage. He's getting creative. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, yeah,
And then we'll get to enjoy like all of it.
yeah,
And I'm like, let me just put the numbers side by side so you can see that. So that's what we did. We looked at several different scenarios of how to play with it. And as it typically goes, he's going to end up paying a higher interest rate and still be better than someone who doesn't. And someone who puts down less than 20%, pays the default insurance, then lump sums and all this stuff,
wow,
right? Because the math doesn't lie. And that's the point. So it's mentally, we're always like, if it's lower, it's got to be better.
right,
But now the problem we're entering now is we, for lack of a better term, and maybe we're wrong in the timing, but we've probably peaked ish about where fixed rates are. And the full expectation, and could be wrong, but if we're not, the full expectation is that interest rates will start to dip. So everybody that's buying now is like, okay, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to do a 3-year term, and then I'll jump out. I'll magically get a better rate, and my payment's going to just plummet, and it's just life is going to be better. And the big thing is that it's not, most likely. And the reason for that is the way banks calculate penalties. So there's two main things there. There's an IRD calculation and there's a 3-month interest penalty calculation, right?
A
Question?
IRD?
Yeah. Interest rate differential. I was getting there. That's cool. Yeah. But anyways, this is boring, but it's actually super important. So it's one of the two, whichever's higher. In a decreasing interest rate market, which is what we're most likely going into,
yes,
what happens is the IRD, again, there's more to this, but you got a rate up here, you're going to a rate down here. And you're gonna, that difference, that's where your penalty's calculated. The bigger that difference, the bigger the penalty. And the problem with that math is when you go to the big 6 credit unions as well, for the most part, there's 2 sets of rates. There's what they call the posted, there's what they call the discounted. Ooh. So the posted is, if you walked into the bank today, you'd see a posted rate probably starts with a 6 on like a 5-year fix. It'll start with like a 6. 6.8. I have one now. It was like 6.84. Someone's gonna say, you're as a client's like, I'm not paying 6.84. That's stupid. And then the bank's like, you're right, Sean. I really like you, dude. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you 5.09. And you're like, damn right you will. Woo! And you feel good. And they're like, whatever. But then when you see the interest rate in 2 years drop to 4%, and you're like, well, man, if I go from 5.09 to 4%, I'm good. I have to save money. I must be saving money.
Yeah.
Let's go do that. When you do that, the bank goes, oh, see, Sean, we already gave you a discount from 6.84 to 5.09. So we put money out and then you're leaving. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go back and calculate that penalty on 6.84. So now your penalty exponentially grows. Okay. Wow. Now, not to dog only the banks, the non-bank lenders, the monoline lenders, the A lenders do the same thing. The difference is they typically don't have a posted rate. So it's discounted to discounted. Both penalties suck. Non-bank lenders suck less, typically, right? And that's where people are going to get smoked, is because in their heads right now, they're like, as soon as it goes low, I'm just going to jump and everything's going to be cool. And it's not, because those penalties are going to be massive. And then, especially if you took a 5-year, but I'm going to come back to that because my clients are watching this going, Kyle, you put me in a 5-year. Yes. But because that drop is going to be so vicious, they're going to pay a huge penalty to get out of that. It's not to mention, when you pay your mortgage down, the amortization goes down. So when you now move that in lots of cases, you're not re-amortizing the mortgage. You're keeping it on the same amortization. So you have less money over, but it's a little bit less money, not a lot less. It's a little less, but over less time means your payment actually goes up. So we start getting to all these questions like, the rate's going down, but is it going down enough for you to take advantage, enough for it to make a difference? And that's all the speculative math we're trying to do. So,
it's not like the banks are gonna be like, oh, hey, here's a loophole that everybody's gonna take advantage of, and we're gonna get screwed, and they're all gonna win. They've got this all figured out down to a science, right? Like they're gonna run the math on how many people do we have at this rate, how many people do we have at this rate, what if we do this, how many people are we gonna expect are gonna refinance? We don't want them to refinance and take like it's all like mega numbers calculated, and you're looking just as the individual, hey, am I outside of that bandwidth enough that this is going to help me out?
Well, and the other thing too is that people get really tied up into their emotional. I mean, that's a lot of money, right? Yeah. And we think we are way more important to the banks than they do. Like, let's be serious, right? Yeah. The amount of times I have people that have $1 million+ in assets and in their bank accounts and in places, and they're like, Kyle, but I got $1 million. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. right? Like you're not a big deal, unfortunately,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So because of that, everybody takes it personally, like, oh man, like the bank's really doing this, or my bank won't do that to me. It's not about you.
Yeah.
You are a part of a calculation,
That's right.
and the calculation says you get this. End of story. So preparing for that and understanding how that works, and even the mentality of it, of just like, hey, and I'll come. So case in point. So the people who January, February, March that were working with me, and they're in 5-year fix. We ran the scenarios
Right.
of if you do a 3-year, this is what happens. If you do a 5-year, this is what happens. However, if everything holds true and rates do drop, the only way you're going to benefit by taking a 3-year and not a 5-year is if the rate drops this much. And the likelihood, and we have that number. And then I asked them, I'm like, do we think that's likely? Right. When it started with a 2 or a 3, I'm like, that's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Right. Highly unlikely. So you would actually be better off to hang on to that 5-year, assuming you could get through it. If you got any thoughts of like, well, we're going to move, we're going to want to we're going to want to, renovate, do whatever. No, do not take do not take the 5-year. If you're set it, forget it, and just, that's it. Good to go. Right.
Yeah, you always, and this is the thing, like we've come to this realization recently, my partner and I, is like you don't know what the future is going to hold. You think about all of the things that can happen, and you make the best decision that you can with the information that you have. Guessing, hey, what's it probably going to be like down the road? And when you look back on it, and you're like, oh shit, you know what? We didn't make the right decision. But as long as you can say, like, look, we took everything that we could have thought into account. We made the best decision that we could with the information that we had. The end. Right. And I feel like you're giving so much information to consumers that it's like, this is the best decision that it looks like. If something like if an asteroid crashes into Earth in 2 years and we all die, then it's like who cares? But like if something astronomical happens and all of these, COVID happens, for example, and all of these, calculations are thrown out the window, you can't account for that. But you do the best that you can with the data that you have, and you move forward.
And if you are someone who wants to plan for, who wants to do the best and be the best in every situation as much as possible, take a variable. And someone's out there just dying right now because I said that. That's the only way.
Right.
It's the only thing, it's the only product that will allow the flexibility to do a bunch of different things.
Right.
An adjustable rate. Make sure it's adjustable. So not the TD ones, not the CIBC ones
Yeah.
necessarily. But as prime starts to drop, right? Because if COVID 4.0 happens
Sure.
and the government goes back to printing money, that's what's going to move the quickest.
Yeah.
So you ride that wave down.
Right.
And then if you say, oh crap, I want to move because I'm just out of here, right?
Yeah.
Pay off your mortgage, you sell your house, pay off your mortgage, you're only going to pay a 3-month interest penalty.
Right.
And then, or you sit there and say, hey, that rate, it got really low. I think we're locked in now. I feel like that's good. Cool. Flip into that rate for fixed for free and live your life. You've covered off as many situations as possible,
Yeah.
but it's more expensive to do that today.
Right.
The most expensive.
Yes.
So everybody's going to compromise somewhere. Pick your poison.
That's it. That makes perfect sense. It could, who knows what it could be? It could be COVID 4.0. It could be World War III. We live in a volatile world where things might happen. Who knows? None of it.
I think what did Matt Groening say? What did the Simpsons say? What's next?
Yeah.
Every time like that.
Yeah, that's probably your best bet.
What's the best course of action? Watch a Simpsons episode and see what's up.
Yeah.
They're right a good chunk of the time.
Simpsons is the new Nostradamus. Hot take here.
We said it here first, people.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. So shift gears a little bit. We'll talk about something a little bit more lighthearted. We always love story time, but and there's a bunch of stories to tell. But I wanted to dive into prepping your house for summer and some of the things that people are doing to get their house ready for summer. If there's something you don't cover, feel free to write it down in the comments below after you click the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. But what I'm seeing is getting ready for pests. I don't know about you. We go to the park in the evening. I feel like the mosquito population has increased this year. I don't know if you've been outside, but it's been mosquito-y, more mosquito-y than normal. So we're getting stuff like Thermacell. We don't spray for pests, but I know some people do, right? Like if you own big property, you'll spray in the cedars for mosquitoes or whatever. But the Thermacell seems to be a good option for us. There's different sizes that cover different areas, and it seems to work really well. There's another thing I saw, this like mosquito guy, right? And they just go in like, yep, we're gonna get rid of all the mosquitoes. We do it like this. Okay, cool. Have you seen any of those guys?
Yeah, I had a quote from like I think they were called Mosquito.Buzz,
Yeah,
and they would come to the house and like spray. We didn't do it, but
yeah,
we had that a couple years ago. We're decent enough where we are. There's not like it's dense enough where you get mosquitoes, but it's not like when I lived in the country.
yeah. Different
When I
story.
lived on the river when I lived on the river and they were just living on living on all the weeds in the water.
Yeah.
But you know,
No, that's a little different. And check out for other ones too. Like if you've got grubs, you can get sense of that if you do by looking at your grass. Check out insects. I mean, look, some insects are good. We need to have them, pollinators and stuff like that. Some insects are more just pests. So it's like, the pest insects you want to get rid of, but you don't want to do it if you've got pets or anything like that, right? But the good insects you want to keep around, and some people have different opinions on that. I feel like spiders are great. Spiders will like eat mosquitoes, so I'm good for the spiders. Leave them be, but my kids not so much. Uh, Next
yeah.
up, check your AC. Make sure that's running well. Apparently, this summer is going to be the hottest summer that we've seen in on record, potentially, at least in a long, long time. So make sure that your AC is blowing cold. It's There's different systems and different programs they've got going on right now. I think it's over now, but the government in the wintertime was running a program for heat pumps, which the name is completely counterintuitive. Heat pumps will push cold air through your house. Call it a heat pump, and
Perfect.
yeah, it pushes air. It's supplemental or could fully replace your furnace, and it does both hot air and cold air. So yeah, check that it's blowing cold air. Get a technician out to service it. If you don't have a technician, you can check on our website. We've got some great HVAC technicians there that can come by your house, have a look at it, make sure you're going to be in good shape and there's no funky stuff. We were running ours too much, and we had condensate freeze on the lines, and then freeze inside the machine. So we've had to do some funky stuff to make our AC work. And man, those times where it doesn't work, like our house is big enough that to get the air from like the furnace up to our bedroom is like the furthest away, and not having AC when it's like plus 40 degrees, good luck. It's not fun.
One thing to check too for people who are listening, obviously, is especially if you've been with especially if you worked with a broker, have a non-bank lender. Thinking MCAP, First National, uh, maybe MCAN, CMLS, maybe. I think there's four of them. You may have uh, the their home warranty program that's
Yeah,
kind of built in,
yeah,
and you can get some of that stuff checked and fixed for free,
nice.
which is a good deal. I've used it twice on my house that I have. Like I have that program, and they fixed my AC unit. Cost me, it's not free. Cost you $50 to have someone come out and check it out, but $50 and I got $1,800 worth of work done.
One of the lawyers we use offers that. It's through Chicago Title, I think, right? They give you a 1 year home warranty. So anything that goes wrong, my brother-in-law had his AC replaced. He paid 50
Mhm.
bucks and got a new AC just because of that. So yeah, that's great. Next up, prepping your yard and your garden, right? So it's perfect time, obviously, in springtime to get your yard ready so that when stuff does start to flourish and come up, your yard is in good shape. I saw a video of a guy putting sand down over his grass, right, to level it out because his lawnmower was going like this as he was driving by. If you're not watching, what I'm
You're on Grass Talk.
yeah,
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
when I
Me too.
grass talk. We were talking about that last time, I think. But
That's
this
right. We were. That's how
but
you know how old you are.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, if you're talking about grass, that's it. So, take the weeds out, get rid of the weeds, do the mulching, replace the mulch if you need to. Starting fresh with some new mulch will obviously make your flower beds pop. Get some color in there. It's a good time of year, springtime, it's time to be doing that work. Are you a gardener at all? Like, do you plant flowers? Flower guy?
Nope. Well, I should. Do I? No. Does my wife? Yeah, loves it. Like I've spent many a Saturday afternoon like going to the plant place, and isn't this great? I'm like, looks like a plant. It's awesome. Like,
I
yeah, I have a
last
cactus. He's
last
still alive. That's good.
good. Last year I dug a big hole and we planted a ginkgo biloba tree, a ginkgo tree, which has apparently been around since the time of the dinosaurs. And there's two different ginkgo trees that you can get. One stinks. I think it's the female stinks and the male smells good, or vice versa. I'm not sure which is which, but we got the non-stinky one. So I dug a hole, and to dig a hole for a tree, you got to go like down and wide. And I spent a good 2 days digging a hole. So I'm not a gardener per se, but give me some physical labor to do, and I'll work my way through that. Um, Gutter check. Check the gutters. You have a bunch of trees around, a bunch of mature trees. If you didn't do it in the fall, a little warmer now, do it now. If you don't have gutter guards on top of your gutters, make sure that everything's flowing. You're supposed to do it in the fall so that everything flows off when your roof melts in the winter, like in the spring. But if you didn't do it, just go through, double check, make sure that everything is out of there, all the leaves and stuff are out of there. Pretty straightforward, right?
All the stuff we're talking about is for homeowners, freehold homes and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this is also what they refer to as condo fees.
Yeah, if you're buying a condo, absolutely, absolutely. I mean,
This is
also want
it's
to
called condo fees, man. That's what it is.
check for. Well, I mean, yeah, some people are buying regular houses. Clogged gutters obviously lead to issues with leaking in the basement. If you got cracks in your gutters, that's a problem. So get all that done. Outdoor lighting. If you have any outdoor lighting, you're an outdoor lighting guy. Do you have lights? Like little funky lights around your backyard or anything like that?
Oh yeah, lots of solar lights in the backyard. My wife's definitely looking at trying to get those like cool, like permanent outdoor lights like around the house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we haven't committed to that yet. I need other things to pay for before I buy lights like
Yep,
that.
that's fair enough. Yeah, they look really nice when they're out there. Yeah, a lot of solar lights are a good kick. We've got these dangling lights like along the in the gazebo and stuff like that to give you like a nighttime vibe. They're like not bright, but like that sort of old timey look.
The Edison bulbs. I got some of
That's
those too.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, Edison bulbs. Cool
And then
mood.
yeah, it is absolutely. And then it gives you a bit of a security measure if you're traveling. Like if you're going away in the summer, having those lights, especially solar lights, gives you a little bit of extra stuff. And then you also want to make sure that if you have outdoor bulbs, that they're on, like the bulbs are replaced. So, and then last up, number six, seal your deck and your patio. So if you've got you've got a wood deck, we sealed ours last year and it's already peeling. We used like semi transparent, and the only way that it doesn't peel is if you use like the stain. But even then, like you still got to do it every year. Keep your wood in good shape, whether it's cedar or whether it's whatever your deck is made out of, or if you've got a patio or whatever, it's sand it and seal it or put the stuff down. It's always work to do.
Condo fees.
You don't own a condo.
I
Why?
know.
Why do you keep
I'm
saying
just
condo?
saying. This is one of those battles. That's like, hey guys, for those of you that have condos, you don't have to do this stuff sometimes.
Hang on a sec.
Some,
Sealing
some.
your deck. If you've got a condo and it's a condo townhouse and you've got a deck in the backyard, that deck's on you,
It's true. It's very
right?
true. I
So
got a small wood deck that I probably got to tackle this year. And I'm about this excited to do it. My
yeah,
other deck's composite, and that's slick. So
But you know, like, yeah, composite is great. It makes it super easy. But like, you're going outside to barbecue, and if your deck has like a little crack in it, you get a sliver in your foot. It's so annoying. Like, you want to be able to walk from inside outside, not worry about anything, and just like go out there and do your barbecuing or do whatever it is you're doing outside. You know, if you've got a pool, like a lot of people I know in my neighborhood have pools, and they're opening their pools up, they're taking the pool cover off. It's like it's spring maintenance to get ready to prep for the summer, right? Summer's fun. You just want to go out and have fun. You don't want to be working in the summer. You want to be chilling, enjoying the fruits of your labor. So you got to put that work in now to enjoy it, right? To really feel like you're down with it. Yeah. So obviously that sealant should help, but it just seems like you always have to put it on. So those are my 6 tips that I read from my phone about spring maintenance to prep yourself for summer. Is there any, if there's anything that we missed or anything you guys wanted to jump into and add on? Hey, you need to do this in the springtime. Let me know. What about you, Kyle? Anything else that I'm missing?
Though I'm very reactive to a lot of things.
Yeah,
So I'm like, oh, that's a thing. I guess we'll go do that thing today. I
yeah,
guess we'll go do the thing. I think the biggest thing is grass talk has definitely got me going, like feeling envious
yeah, yeah,
because we had a bunch of stuff done in the backyard renovation wise, but
yeah,
now after a couple years, it's all settled and like the grass,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, we need to pump a bunch of stuff back there again.
yeah,
So grass talk is definitely making me envious.
yeah. I
I'll have
get
to
that.
see if I become that guy or not.
I fully get
A
that, man.
lot of sand.
Yeah, we did a bunch of soft scaping and hardscaping in the backyard a couple years ago. And now it's like, oh, now I gotta pull weeds, and do I have to remulch? And when we trimmed the cedars, the cedar pieces just fell into the mulch. So it's not black anymore. Now it's like red and black. And it's just it's a lot, man. It's a lot of work. And it's like the weekends there, and you're like, man, I don't want to do this. So it's tough. It's tough, man. But if you do it, it looks pretty for the summertime. That's my point. So, yeah, get to work, mofo.
Right.
That's pointed directly at me and all of you beautiful people. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this with someone you think might like this conversation. You can download us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, watch us here on YouTube. Check out the link below for the promo code for Magic Mind, and you can download the buyer guide, the seller guide down below. You can also get into a Calendly link, book an appointment directly with Kyle or I with that Calendly link below. And until next time, keep it real.
Collective.